You don't want none, lady, of what I've got to share. I've got flesh between my teeth from living in a snare. The more I bite and struggle low, the less I like to care. That I once held a virtue with green eyes and auburn hair. That I once held a virtue with green eyes and auburn hair. And I'm long, long gone. Ain't a maiden here or yonder ever need this kind of love. Ain't a maiden here or yonder ever need my kind of love. You don't want none, lady, oh, take it from me. The charm that I give to you is anything but free. It'll cost you years and many tears, and it's not yours to keep. I poison everything I touch like nothing else that breathes. I poison everything I touch like nothing else that breathes. And I'm long, long gone. Ain't a maiden here or yonder ever need this kind of love. Ain't a maiden here or yonder ever need my kind of love. You don't want none, lady, oh, I can't be your man. I live deep in a holler between the holy and the damned. The only thing that keeps the peace are the voices in my head. And Lord, I pray that someday I'll find the time to wed. And Lord, I pray that someday I'll find the time to wed. And I'm long, long gone. Ain't a maiden here or yonder ever need this kind of love. Ain't a maiden here or yonder ever need my kind of love.
That's good to see, man. Hey, everybody. We have Robert Szabo today, and Robert's somebody that I've known for on YouTube. How long do you think?
I don't know, 6-7 months maybe now.
That's been longer than that. It has to be.
First,
I've been on YouTube a little over a year.
I put my video out.
Maybe it has.
A little after August, so yeah, it's been
okay.
maybe 8 months.
8 months, about 8 months. It seems like it's been longer.
Yeah.
And Robert popped up on my feed, and I don't think anybody on my channel at that time, which I think I might have had 150 subscribers, but I don't think anybody was connected to you. So it just popped up, and we've talked about this before. I like when I see somebody that just has a small amount of subscribers like myself. I like to go check them out, and see what they're doing, because I get tired of getting millions of viewed videos on my pop-up feed. Those folks are, they're already there. Everybody knows they're good. Well, some of them anyway. And so from that standpoint, I like seeing who started the channel, what they can do, those kinds of things. Now, so I left a comment on your channel one night, and we started talking from there. And I thought you were pretty daggum skilled, and so that started us visiting with each other. So what's this video going to be about? Well, it's going to be a video about another YouTuber, somebody who has a small channel. Like me and some of you, and they're trying to grow the channel. They'd like to see it grow. They enjoy doing the videos, and they've got the equipment to do it, because you have some fine equipment, which I'm going to ask you about in a second. Mm-hmm. And then I want to know, how in the world did you get that experience to get that good of a setup. What led you there, and I'll ask you about that. But I thought, we could. Well, we couldn't. I say we could. We could bring in. We could bring in. I don't know, Garth Brooks, and even though we can't bring him in, and sit down and talk to him, but I think everybody pretty much knows his story, and I'm pretty sure he's busy, a little too busy to probably stop by the house. So, but if you're interested in people who, have some goals and aspirations, and they're on YouTube, and not necessarily to become some famous singer, player, but just more so to try to do something on YouTube that's going to bring a little value to somebody else. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
So with that, Robert, I'll just ask you, where did you start in life, and where did you live, that kind of thing, and then where did you end up, and what are you doing now, and what led you to even thinking about starting a YouTube channel, and in that mix, think about how old were you when you first started playing, and you obviously got a love for acoustic guitars. So why don't you tell everybody about that?
Yeah. All right. So hey, folks, my name is Robert Szabo. I have kind of lived all over the place on the eastern side, east and south of the U.S. Military brat. My dad was in the Marine Corps for 30 years, and I joined myself for a little bit as well. So I was born in New Orleans, South Carolina, lived in Texas, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, Ohio for a little bit, and a couple other places from there. Let's see. YouTube. I mean, I started that. The channel that I have right now, it started very much as just a kind of a personal channel, just to drop some videos on of things that I thought folks might want to see, things that I could share, because I got a lot of family stretched all over the country right now, a lot of friends all over the place, and so it's nice to be able to put a video out, and if I can't play guitar and sing for somebody every day, I can at least say, hey, look, you can watch this video. And pretty sure when I started putting some of these little country western songs out, that my subscribers went up just a little bit, I'm pretty sure it's because my mom logged in on different computers. Click subscribe on a bunch of different accounts, and
That's funny.
Yeah. So, no, it's been fun doing that, and just kind of putting videos out while I can. It's just been a little hobby, and I've played acoustic guitars, electric guitars. I play drums and piano too, off to the side.
Okay.
Whenever I get a chance, but right now it's been really nice and easy to carry an acoustic guitar around, and
right.
And fun fact, I really didn't start singing this genre of music until a little over a year ago. So it's definitely it's one of those things, like I didn't even start singing until maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And that was there's some old videos of that on somebody else's hidden channel that are.
You're not gonna tell us about that, are you?
They're very very cringy, and it's, you could tell somebody's starting out, but I had some encouraging friends, and they wouldn't play unless somebody would sing, and so I kept singing, and so it's kind of how I'm led into this.
About how old were you when you started playing guitar?
Oh shoot, I was probably 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
I was 16 years old. And it was right around when Guitar Hero was all the rage. Okay. And that game was coming out, and I was pretty good at that game, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
So I could play songs on expert, but there's a lot of folks around me that are like, oh well, that's cool, but could you do it for real? And yeah, sure, of course I can. So then a lot of it was to prove people that, okay, fine, I can do this for real. Yeah. And also to impress girls, but
Well, sure. That's important. Right. Yeah.
A little for me, a little for them, a little bit of both. So.
Do you remember what your first guitar was?
Oh boy, I remember what it looks like, and it was something that you would probably find at a thrift shop for $10, and I think that's really what it was.
Action was a little rough, and you kept playing.
It was a little rough, and I know my first acoustic guitar, and that one was one that my mom bought, probably maybe 17, 18 years ago now.
Okay.
So she bought that because she wanted to play in a church band.
Yeah.
And that was one of it's on the cheaper end and very high action and make your fingers bleed after a song. And that's really where I started to learn how to play, was on that.
Okay.
And then I picked up an electric guitar and I thought, oh my God.
Fret's so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah. But I still have it. I still have that guitar, my mom's guitar, and I kind of took it with me when I went to college, and she said, "Fine, you just have to. You can have that as long as you play that in a church band someday."
Good. And Mom, if you ever see this video, that's what he's doing, traveling cross country playing in church bands. So, something to think about at some point, because I do want to talk to you for just a moment before you play something about career-wise. Now, you can't ask me, but I'm going to ask you, and if you're uncomfortable saying it out loud, well, that's fine. But what are you currently doing? What are your plans career-wise?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the middle of a pretty big change career-wise. Outside of the military, I was working in the software industry for a little while, making apps for phones and doing that, and off to the side for the last couple of years, I've had a little woodworking business, just kind of as a side job, very trying to keep up with that along with a day job. But finally this year I got to a point where I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna jump into this woodworking thing full time. So, so I am. Let's see, just left home, or just left Austin, and getting ready to head towards Colorado. Go to school for a good 2-3 years, maybe. Learn some fine furniture making, and open up a shop back in Austin someday.
Well, Texas will be glad to have you back. Yeah, we were talking about this at lunch. We'd gone up, and when Robert came into town, we met at a barbecue place up there in Mineola, and that my wife and I go to. And we were talking about, I'd asked him if there was any chance that he was going to turn that furniture business into building guitars. And of course, he's, oddly enough.
Oh yeah, the school I'm going to, they do have a little luthier track. So, one of the classes this coming semester is about guitar repair. So good. I have to take that, and then the next one they can teach me how to build one. So.
Good. And then when he gets done with that, folks, I'm going to do everything I can to get him to go to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and have Scott teach him how to build one. Scott and I both are getting older, so but one of the best luthiers on this planet, that's a fact. So the music line is really not something you're going to pursue professionally, from what you're telling me. Furniture making, woodworking, maybe begin learning how to build guitars, that kind of thing, and contribute in that way, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good goal and a worthy one. And and we'll be excited to get you back. So you're going to be gone for a couple of 3 years? 2,
maybe 3 years. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be a little while. It'll be a little cold for a little bit, but we'll come back.
Yeah, it'll get nippy up there.
And that's something I'm saying, because we're in a heat wave right now. So
yeah.
You know.
How far away from Denver is this place?
It's West Denver, the west side of Denver.
West Denver.
So that's the Red Rocks Community College up there.
I'm actually going to be at a business conference up there in Denver in August.
Shoot,
so if you're there by then, because I know you've got a couple of detours to make.
Yep.
then I'll give you a call and maybe we can hook up, sit down, and visit a little bit more.
Great. All right,
Okay.
sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Well, why don't you play everybody something? And well, let me ask you this before you do. So, you've got 2 YouTube channels, do you not?
One for woodworking, one for my personal stuff, or for playing
Okay.
music. Yep.
And I think I'm subscribed to both of those. So I'm gonna drop a link to both of those channels so everybody can go visit Robert, and because eventually we're all hoping that this turns into some kind of guitar building as well. But if not, we seem to always need furniture around this house. So I may be coming down to Austin and letting Donna go through the shop. How's that?
Sounds good. I think I can help out.
Good. Do you want to play something for us today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, I haven't used one of these cables before. So there's right after I found out I was going to move to Colorado, I heard the song from Town Van Zandt. It's called "Colorado Girl."
Okay, that timely.
Seemed pretty fitting, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going out to Denver, seeing if I can't find. Well, I'm going out to Denver, seeing if I can't find that loving Colorado girl of mine. With a promise in her smile, shames the mountains tall. Well, the promise in her smile shames the mountains tall. And she can bring sun shining, tell the rain to fall. Gonna be there tomorrow, Mama, now don't you cry. Gonna be there tomorrow, Mama, now don't you cry. Got to kiss these lonesome Texas blues goodbye. I'm going out to Denver, seeing if I can't find. Well, I'm going out to Denver, seeing if I can't find that loving Colorado girl of mine. That loving Colorado girl of mine.
Brother man, that's beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Uh,
It's the first time I tried to do that without looking at the words.
well,
I
I'd
think I
say you
missed a
did.
few, but that's all right.
I'd say you did fantastic on that. That was an absolutely beautiful song. I'm gonna cut this out of this just now out of the video, just this little piece right here. But your vocals have gone from here to here. They really have. Because I mean, you know, you listen to yourself. You know. Hopefully, you're like me. I look in the mirror. I see what's there.
Yeah.
I didn't when I was a teenager, but I see it now. And I could tell when you first started singing that you had a lot of potential in your vocals because you could carry a tune in a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
But it was there was a lot of movement in it, you know.
Yeah.
So, but since that time, it seems it's found a home. That may be one of the best covers of that song I've ever heard. That was a really sweet acoustic cover you did.
I was just throwing some vocals, you know.
Well, they do inspire you. There's no question about that. I think that's the thing I think I love most about guitars, and really not just acoustic, but primarily for me, it's acoustic. Is, you know, I played guitar since I was about 8 years old, and my whole entire life up until about 5-6 years ago, I never even thought about what they were built out of or how they were made, or bracing or voicing tops or the construction of a guitar, the luthier's hand on that guitar. I just never thought about those things. And now it's nearly all I think about. And so, you know, you are playing one of the finest guitars God ever gave to mankind through Stuart Mossman. And that's the mahogany backing sides and spruce top that he built called the Tennessee Flat Top. And that most of his other guitars, not all of them, but most of them were rosewood, East Indian rosewood backing sides. Okay. And so to me, that kind of makes this guitar a little more special. It was probably their least expensive guitar at the time. But if you look at that, that's a coral snake purfling around that top. Mm-hmm. Quality bone nut, bone saddle, ebony pins, ebony bridge, ebony fretboard. The original Grover tuners on that guitar. And you can tell by playing it, it is the fretboard, the neck, the body. There's no cracks in the guitar anymore. And no structural. There's a small little one there on the heel cap. But there's the frets look nearly new.
Yeah, they do.
So
I would not have guessed that was... How would you say that was?
48 years.
48 years, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yep, 48 years old. So that's another reason I wanted you to play it, because they're, you know, unless you get back here at the house, they're, and you will be. Hopefully, I'll still be around, and you'll play it again. No, I appreciate you, brother, man. I don't know if, for those of you who've been on the channel for a while, you may remember some time ago I had posted this. On the community tab where Robert, I was on his channel one night and I forgot what I said. Oh yeah, he said, I'd commented on one of his videos because you can kind of, not always, but you can kind of tell a lot of times about people if you've got any perception about you at all. And I had a pretty good perception of you, and just personality wise, what you were doing. And I thought, so I left a comment. And I can't remember what I said, but he came back and said something like, well, that's an honor or something like that. And I thought, so I told him, I said, no. I said, look, man, I'm not anybody. I'm a nobody. but I think you're doing good, and I think you're making a lot of good progress, and I hope you keep it up.
You said, I'm just a nobody trying to have a good time.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right.
No. And so next thing I knew, there's this song on this channel about it. It's pretty funny, but it's pretty cool. And I appreciate you doing that. You didn't have to, but it was very nice.
Oh, no, I saw that line, and I tell the story every time I play that or play that song out. And,
do you?
And let's see. Shoot, yeah, I remember just seeing I'm just a nobody trying to have a good time, and I just like, you know what? That's line one. Okay.
So I'm writing music now, folks. Lyrics. Did you know that? Now, the equipment you use in your videos, because you got a nice little setup there. What are you using?
So it is a Scarlett I-18. The little mixer
Interface?
I'm using. Yeah, the interface I'm using. I'll send you the link exactly for what it is. I'm blanking on the name at the moment, but
You use 2 mics, right?
I have 2 mics going into it, and the reason why I got a piece that set up that big was because I used to have a little house party band there. We called ourselves Good Enough for a House Party.
Good enough for a house party. If you ever see those folks,
right.
buy an album.
We played 3 house parties, 3 office parties as well. So we moved up in the world, but anyways, yeah. So that's why we had to set up that big, and so I use 2 mics. And again, I'm gonna have to send you exactly what those.
No,
mics
that's fine.
I've had them for a long time, but it's one kind of
high quality
mic,
condenser.
And then I have one kind of up for vocals here, and then
Right.
I have another one pointed directly down at the little body of the guitar, so I
Okay.
can catch all that. And then I have them set up in a way that I have to kind of just like inch myself in and try not to kick everything over.
Well, you see the back here where I'm at. Yeah,
Right.
it gets cramped.
Right. So I have that running my computer with what's the not Logic? It was Ableton. I'm using Ableton now to record everything because it's simple enough to work with, and
Well, you've got a good setup.
yeah. Oh, and then the cameras. I have put my phone camera on some makeshift mount over here, and then I have a little DSLR camera that I hook up on one side, and so right before I go to start playing, I push record here, run over here, push record here, run over to the computer, push record,
And then you're on your way.
get into the setup, and then
The cockpit.
Start going. Yep.
Yeah, the cockpit.
Yep.
Well, good. Well, I knew when the first video I saw, and I was listening to the quality. I was talking to Paul Georgie the other day, and he's a subscriber on the channel. He lives up in the Northeast, and he's a wonderful guy. And so in his early days, you could say his microphone was struggling a little bit. He was setting off away from his I guess the iPhone, Paul, wasn't it? But anyway, the volume levels were just extremely low, right? When you do that, and so not too long ago, he upped his game, and it's daylight and dark. Just the choice in equipment that you decide to use when you go to YouTube. Mm-hmm. I think one other thing that you're probably not thinking about just yet, but I thought about it when I finally did decide to get on YouTube was. I really wanted something that my son and my grandkids and my great grandkids, Lord hadn't come back by that point, that's something they could see, something they could go back and maybe even get to know me a little bit through that. Mm-hmm. Not that that's any kind of privilege or pleasure, but I would like to think it would be something they'd be proud of, and so that's another good reason for YouTube,
That's what's on my mind about it. It's a good archive. It's for you to be able to send it out to folks today, but also it's there, and
right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do too many weird videos or things. I don't do weird stuff on there. So it's pretty straightforward, and the songs I play are a little bit of a reflection of how I don't know
who you are,
who I am a little bit. So.
Well, I do like that. We have we're close to similar boots here, which is good. That's always a good thing. You can tell a lot about a guy what kind of cowboy boots he wears. But I think too, I like to keep the channel to where a 5-year-old could watch it, and we don't have to worry about teaching him something that's not right. And now I realize there's a lot on YouTube that don't, and you go down the road you go down, and that's your choice and your decision. But I always like keeping the channel that way. I wanted it to be something that somebody wasn't going to have to worry what's going to have fly out of his mouth in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. I got to close the door if I'm going to watch this video. Yeah. I don't want that. I think the English language has suffered enough. Yeah. And I don't want to contribute to it on the channel. So
it's funny because I do the same thing even when I'm on the stage. Yeah. Because there are some songs that I have altered just a couple of words or lyrics to, and my bandmates would always look at me like, "Wait, just why? What do you do?"
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, there's some songs that we've played that were a little bit more aggressive, or I don't know. There's
aggressive's good.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
I was good with that one. But yeah, I mean, even now, it's just I try to watch what I'm playing and saying on stage, and try to keep it somewhat family friendly for
Sure.
everybody. Nobody's got, like you said, nobody's got to close the door and like, oh, I hope nobody sees me watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good goal. It's another reason why I really wanted you to come by on your way to out of town, was because Robert lives about 4 hours from me down in Austin, and so it was a little bit of a drive for him coming, but he was on his way this way anyway, so that was good. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, on the channel, the comments, if you go read through all the videos, and the subscribers on this channel are really good with keeping things such that anybody could read it. And by the way, everybody, I really do appreciate that. I think I've only removed one comment from the channel, and two. I've removed two. One of them was a disrespectful comment, and it's the only one I've ever seen. And the other one, the guy was trying to pay me a compliment. He was just way too descriptive. You know what I mean? And I didn't want a kid reading it. So as much as I hated to, I had to get rid of the comment. I mean, I appreciated him, and I thought I know he meant well, but that's not the world I want to produce on this channel. So, and that's I'm not sitting here telling you I'm something special, because I'm far from it. But you really ought to think about what you're representing when you're out in the public eye. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the public eye every day with my day job, and actually all of us are, right? I mean, in one form or another. So, yeah, I think that's a good thing to always be aware of. Robert, great to see you, brother, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming in, and that song was outstanding. Didn't everybody think so? I mean, I did. And I hope this will drive a little traffic to the channel. That's not why I did it. I did it because I think people ought to get to know you. And I think on YouTube, that's what people want. They want to get to know the people that have the channels. And, that's a good thing. I think that's why we're on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good to see you, brother, man.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Being here.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. I'll drop all the relevant links in the description box, and appreciate you joining the channel. I hope you enjoyed, Robert. I know I did. Take care of your friends. Take care of your family. God bless. We'll see you next time.